Welcome to the Bluffton News. I'm Anneliza Itkor. It's been a very busy week in Bluffton and the surrounding areas, and we've got a lot to cover today. We'll be discussing the latest news, taking a look at what's going on in Bluffton business and entertainment, and hearing from this week's newsmakers. This week, Jason Taylor, town administrator of Ridgeland, will tell us what's in store for Ridgeland in the coming months, and Lafferty Banks talks about all the new River Center commercial has to offer. But let's start things off with Bluffton's current headlines. A ribbon-cutting ceremony Tuesday marked the completion of the Wharf Street redevelopment project. The Wharf Street redevelopment is a $1 million grant-funded project that has constructed 6 cottage-style houses. The green homes are on about half an acre of downtown property and range in size from 330 square feet to 1,551 square feet. The houses will be available for sale to families with household incomes less than 80% of the Beaufort County median income that also meet the other eligibility requirements. And this week, Main Street Beaufort introduces a, shall we say, different type of beauty pageant when the 3rd annual Bluffton Beauties pageant takes the stage at the Shed in Port Royal. They may seem a bit bigger and hairier than your average beauty pageant queen, and well, that's because Beaufort's most influential men are putting their best heel forward, all in the name of charity. These men will compete in traditional beauty pageant events like talent, interview, and evening gown. Now, only one contestant will be crowned Miss Beaufort Beauty, but 4 charities are the big winners as the proceeds benefit Main Street Beaufort USA, Thumbs Up, Lions Club of Beaufort, and Friends of Caroline Hospice. Terry Sweeney, Saturday Night Live alum, will be hosting the event that starts at 7:30 on Saturday, March 31st. Phase 5B of the Bluffton Parkway emerged as the first among equals on the Town Council's priority list for this year. Council named 13 objectives at the end of its annual strategic planning retreat, and while they were not ranked in order, Phase 5B was deemed key to the town's economic future. Town Council, without a formal vote, unanimously endorsed spending $90,000 to modify engineering studies of Phase 5B to accommodate a northern route that would open up property owned by developer John Reed for commercial use. Phase 5B is planned to eliminate the 1.1-mile overlap of the Bluffton and Buckwalter parkways. The cost is estimated at $24 million. There are 3 candidates for 2 Hardeeville City Council seats. Despite being disqualified last week by the Hardeeville Municipal Elections Committee, Scott Reddy, 48, intends to run as a write-in candidate. The names of incumbents Roy Powell, 46, and Michael Sweeney, 76, will appear on the May 8 ballot along with a space to write in Reddy's name. Last week, Reddy filed a declaration of intent to run as a write-in candidate in the Hardeeville city election. He's also challenging his disqualification, stating that a misrepresentation of regulatory process should not prevent the people of Hardeeville from electing the candidate of their choice. Had Reddy chosen not to run as a write-in candidate, there would be no election for city council since there would be no opposition for the 2 seats. The annual series of Hampton County rabies clinics will begin on April 7th and continue at various locations around the county throughout the spring. Local veterinarian Dr. Mark Sees will once again provide these clinics for the community. Dr. Sees will only be charging $5 per rabies vaccination at all of his clinics. The South Carolina Rabies Control Act requires that all dogs and cats have a current rabies vaccination. Dogs must be on a leash and cats must be in a box or carrier. And last week, a jury convicted Terrence Seabrook of St. Helena Island of 1 count of armed robbery for the October 4th, 2010 holdup of Exxon Fast Lane No. 5 on Sea Island Parkway. During the robbery, Seabrook emerged from the gas station's bathroom wearing a skeleton mask and holding a nickel-plated handgun. He placed the gun to the clerk's chin and stole cash and cigarettes. Seabrook faced a mandatory life without parole sentence because he had previously been convicted of the 1998 armed robbery of a video store, a crime for which he was sentenced to 13 years prison. For more information on these headlines and more, please check out the media sources you see listed on your screen. You can also follow us on Facebook and Twitter. Coming up, Lynn Hummel of the Bluffton Sun will bring us up to speed on the latest news in Bluffton when we return with Hot Off the Presses on the Bluffton News. Welcome back. Joining me now is Lynn Hummel of the Bluffton Sun. Lynn, we mentioned earlier today the plans for the Bluffton and Buckwalter Parkways. Now, it's my understanding you also have an update on the proposed flyover bridges from the Bluffton Parkway to the Hilton Head Bridge. Is this project getting any closer to reality?
Well, Anneliza, it could be. The Beaufort Transportation Advisory Group last week voted unanimously to seek a $15 million state grant to build the two flyover bridges that would connect the Bluffton Parkway extension near Moss Creek to the Hilton Head bridges. The flyover would start at the Parkway intersection at Buckingham Plantation Landing and go through the marsh behind the gatherings and then over Highway 278 and tie in at the Carl Bauer Bridge. And the potential need for the flyover, though, and the design have met with a lot of debate. A lot of people think it's a little bit too much. The design doesn't really fit the flavor of the island and the low country. And other people say that it's going to be necessary for evacuation.
Well, not only evacuation, but if you've ever been coming onto the island on a Saturday afternoon, I think an alternative route would be a welcome thing.
That's
now,
true.
Is this project a done deal?
Well, not yet. The Beaufort County Council has to approve the request, and they have to decide if they're willing to match the grant, the $15 million, because it's going to be about $31,000 or $31 million to build it.
I was going to say $31,000. That's a really good deal. Well, it sounds like that's an exciting prospect. Speaking of exciting things, have I heard correctly that Okatee Regional Park has some fun plans in the works?
Yes, we just heard about this last week. There are plans in the works for a zip line tour, walking and biking trails at the park, which is owned by the Beaufort County Rural and Critical Lands Program. That's hard to say, isn't it?
Yeah.
An Ohio-based nonprofit named Direct Instructional Support Systems is negotiating with the county council to bring these activities to the park, and they hope to start construction soon. Now, this is not the same zip line company that's building the zip line over on Hilton Head at Broad Creek Marina. Officials say that the park hasn't yet been designed, but they intend to use the land for educational and instructional tours, interpretive tours. It's located between Highway 278 and Hampton Parkway near Island West community.
I thought there was already a master plan for this park.
There was, and it was approved in 2005, and that was to include hiking and biking trails, fishing, camping spaces, and picnic areas. But there was no funding for these amenities. So this new plan would include those amenities, but it would be paid for by this partnership.
Well, that's going to get your adrenaline going for sure. Now, a very popular organization in the area is Heroes on Horseback, who, of course, serve many special needs. And while they're all heroes, there is one who's particularly unique. Tell us a little bit about him.
Well, Heroes is a wonderful, wonderful organization, and it does serve lots of people of different ages and different abilities. And one of their riders is a little bit older than usual. David Puzzle of Tybee Island found out about Heroes on Horseback, and at age 73, he said he hadn't been on a horse in 50 years, and he heard about Heroes and wanted to get back in the saddle. So we've got a story in the Bluffton Sun this next week about David and his adventures on his horse Bubbles.
Oh,
don't miss it.
That sounds truly inspirational. Lynn, thanks so much. When we return, we have a special Bluffton business report as Shelley West Hodges goes on location at IMC Resort Services here on the Bluffton News. Today on the Bluffton News, Shelley West Hodges made a special trip to IMC Resort Services in order to bring us a special edition of the Bluffton Business Report. Shelley?
Thank you, Anneliza. I'm here today with Michael Reeves of Resort Services, a large company here in Bluffton that employs a lot of people and a really behind-the-scenes business that a lot of people don't know is here. Michael, can you tell us a little bit about our Resort Services?
Sure. Resort Services was founded in 1992 by my father, Jerry Reeves, and a fellow from Hilton Head by the name of Gordon Craighead. And we were primarily a business for sea pines in the early 70s. And as we grew, we became more of a healthcare and linen supply company for hospitals. And so we have grown since 1972 from being a business of having 15 employees to about 190 employees now. My father and my 4 other brothers are in the business along with me, and we have been pretty successful over the years in this same location.
Now, you also service other facilities besides hospitals. What other avenues?
Right. We also do facilities, about 500 different restaurants in the Charleston, Savannah, and Hilton Head, Beaufort area. We also go south down to Brunswick, Georgia for a federal law enforcement training facility, and up to North Charleston for some nursing homes and restaurants up in that area.
Resort Services and your family are longtime Bluffton folks, and y'all do a lot of community efforts around town. And can you tell us a little bit about
Right.
those?
Not only do we support the local community with the different heart associations, with the Cancer Society Relay for Life, which is coming up actually this weekend, and then also with the United Way. So we support the community not only through our business, but with our employees, which we employ approximately 190 people in this area, and with the longevity of these employees being somewhere around 31, 32 years. So we're very proud of the people that we have working for us.
Now, that's awesome. Now, you employ a lot of people in the Bluffton area, but this is also kind of regional as well. Where do some of these other folks come from to work here?
Well, we have people that drive as far as from Walterboro, from Monk's Corner, which is obviously halfway between here and Charleston. We have people that come from Savannah. But like you say, most people are local that come and work here. So like I said, we're very proud of them, and they do a great job for us.
Well, thank you, Michael. This is a great business, and I hope people, if you're ever curious about it, stop in and see the Reeves. And great family, great business, and we're happy they're here in Bluffton with us. Thank you, Michael.
Thanks, Shelley.
Back to you, Anneliza.
Thanks so much, Shelley. Up next, Jason Taylor, administrator of the town of Ridgeland, is going to bring us current on what's happening in Ridgeland, as well as what we can expect in the future. All that when we return with more Bluffton news. Welcome back to the Bluffton News. There's been a lot going on in Ridgeland this year, and it doesn't look like it's going to slow down anytime in the near future. Jason Taylor, town administrator, is here to bring us up to speed. Thanks for joining us, Jason.
Oh, well, thank you very much. Always glad to come talk about what we have going on over in Ridgeland.
Now, I know from personal experience that if you drive through the town of Ridgeland, you can tell that a huge effort has been made to beautify the town. Tell us a little bit about what you've done.
We have, over the last 10, really over 12 years, we've focused heavily, the town council and the town, on beautifying the town. If you'll notice, we've taken up miles of cracked concrete sidewalks, replaced them with very attractive brick sidewalks. We've planted hundreds of street trees, primarily palms, along the edges of those sidewalks, and installed hundreds of street lamps also. In addition, we've constructed parks, very extensively landscaped parks with bronze monuments, with also parks with very large granite monuments, in an effort to really make the town very attractive, to make it really more attractive, and in an end is an end to it in itself that's, I think, worthy, but also to really make the town more attractive for people to live there, people to come and do business there, and people to pull off the interstate and shop in our town.
Well, I think you've done a beautiful job. I understand that Ridgeland's been lucky enough to land several new industries lately. What can you tell me about that?
Yes, we have worked very hard. Again, the beautification was to help make Ridgeland a more attractive place for people to come and do business, and it's really paid off. The beautification, we've been recognized by the Municipal Association twice and won awards for our efforts, but more importantly, we've been lucky enough to land 3 new large industries lately. Daniel Defense, which will hire 150 to 200 people and have good high-paying wages. We've also got B Green Industries, which is a packaging products manufacturer. They manufacture packaging for Gillette and people like that, large industries. And we've also got a new pellet mill, which takes cellulose and compresses it into a pellet that's used in heating ovens. And all total, we're looking at probably 400 to 500 new jobs in our town. So we're very pleased with that.
Yeah, that's got to be a nice boon to the Ridgeland economy. Tell our viewers a little bit about the future projects that the town has planned.
Well, we're still going to continue to concentrate on economic development and beautification and really build our infrastructure too. Without good infrastructure such as water and sewer, you can't really grow. Ridgeland's one of the few towns in this area that still owns its own water and sewer system, and we, through grants primarily, have been very lucky to build that system. We've expanded our water and sewer service to make it possible for new businesses to locate in our town.
Gotcha. Well, Jason, thanks so much for joining us. It sounds like Ridgeland is doing fabulously.
Well, thank you very much. Appreciate being here.
Now, another clear indicator that the economy is indeed turning around is the new growth at the New River Center commercial. Lafany Banks is here to tell us all about it. Lafany, can you start by giving us some general information about New River Center commercial?
Absolutely. New River Center commercial is ideally located off of Highway 278 in the Hardeeville area, with easy access for the surrounding communities and homeowners there.
And what exactly is it that makes the New River Center commercial appealing to the businesses and shoppers?
Well, a key point of interest for current and potential retailers is the dynamic growth in the area. New River Commercial is completely surrounded by housing developments and with plans to build more developments. Case in point, there's a group, Terra Nova Group, that's in the process of building out Abbey Glen. Abbey Glen is a condominium association located inside of New River Commercial. So what do they say? Location, location, location. It's just the perfect place for a retail business, commercial business, or mixed-use development.
Well, I know that Abbey Glen is also growing in leaps and bounds. I believe they had an open house event this past weekend. That was a huge success, so that is a great location for you. What businesses are currently located at the New River Center commercial?
Well, New River Center Commercial currently has some of your larger retailers. You have Walmart out there, you have Publix out there, and currently, in the very near future, we hope to welcome a couple of auto mall dealerships.
Oh, you mean outside of the auto mall that's right there?
Yes, one of the dealerships we know is coming is the Lexus dealership.
Wow, that's going to be exciting.
Yes,
now,
it is.
I understand that New River Center Commercial isn't limited strictly to retail. What types of service-related businesses are there?
Oh, wow. They've got healthcare businesses, doctor's offices, dental offices, auto body shops, auto repair like New River Transmission is there. And in addition to that, not only with the service-related businesses, but there's also plenty of opportunity for warehousing and storage in the area as well.
Okay. Now, how can our viewers find out more about New River Center Commercial?
Well, you can contact our office, of course, Association Services, to get a little bit more information. And as there's a lot of owners that advertise their properties and businesses out there for sale, and just basically looking through the paper.
All right. Well, it sounds like there's definitely a lot offered out there. Thanks so much, Lafany.
Thank you.
This week, our entertainment guru, Rodney Vaughn, is ready to help us make the most of an exciting weekend when he presents the Entertainment Report on the Bluffton News. Today on the Bluffton News Entertainment Report, Rodney Vaughn is all ready with some great ideas for the coming weekend. Rodney, what do you have for us?
Hey, Anneliza, how you doing?
Good, thanks.
Well, I want to mention a thing that's coming up called the Firkenstock. Firkenstock is going to be a Bluffton beer festival, and it is hosted by the Bluffton Rotary Club. It is the first annual beer festival, and it will be March the 31st from 12 to 5 at Buckwalter Place in Bluffton. That's a Saturday. This is a charity event that is going to fund the Waddell Maricultural Center in the Low Country. They'll have a lot of different beers there, and the things that are different about the beer is that they're Firkin cast style beers. It's a little bit way of brewing the beer that's different from most breweries.
I was going to ask you how they came up with a name like Firkenstock. That is reason alone enough to go.
It's quite unusual.
It sounds like a really fun place to be. How can we get more information on this?
Well, they have a website, and it's firkenstock.com, and the tickets are $40 or $10 for a designated driver. You can call 321-9556 for more information.
Great. Now, I hear that some beautiful music is going to be performed this weekend.
That's right. If you want to stay indoors and get a little bit of something fun in the evenings, you can attend the Hilton Head Choral Society's music called Missa Solemne in C. It's going to be performed at the First Presbyterian Church on Hilton Head Island, and it will be a selection of Mozart's music in addition to some other music that's Australian folk and Australian folk dancing. Selected soloists from the area are going to be presenting that, and it's March the 30th, which is a Friday, at 8 p.m.
I don't know if you've ever caught an event by the Choral Society, but it's over 100 members strong, and the music is amazing. Tell us how we get tickets.
Well, they do a great job. You're exactly right. The tickets are available by calling 341-3818. They're also available at the door. They're $25 in advance and $20 at the door. It's non-reserved seating.
Okay. Now, you are apparently involved in a theater production that continues this weekend.
I certainly am. Something's Afoot at Magnolia Hall in Sun City continues one more weekend. It's actually a Thursday and a Friday. Tickets are $23, and they are available at the door. And it's been a great show, well attended, and it's a super event. I recommend everyone see it.
Well, I caught a picture of you in the paper, I think, and your character looks great.
Thank you.
Now, looking ahead, what's the scoop with the Heritage? Because I know that's a Hilton Head Island event, but it definitely impacts Bluffton.
It certainly does. We get a lot of tourism from the event, a lot of people traveling through, and the overflow restaurants do very well as the stores and things. The event for Heritage is April 9th through 15th this year, and we welcome people to come over and not just stay on the island. We get a lot of day shoppers or day trippers that are going to come to Bluffton.
Good advice. Well, thanks for always bringing the fun, Rodney.
Thank you, Anneliza.
Well, now it's time to meet Chelsea. This little girl has a bubbly personality that is simply contagious. Apparently a rabbit hound, this endearing dynamo takes everything in stride and wiggles all the while. Chelsea would make a great companion for an outdoor enthusiast who is looking to own a one-of-a-kind canine. For more information on Chelsea, contact Brookshaven Animal Rescue at 25 Buck Island Road in Bluffton, or call 843-757-7387. Thanks for joining us for the news program that is all Bluffton all the time. I'm Anneliza Itkor for the Bluffton News. We'll see you next time.